Hello YouTube and welcome to Katrinka LOL, specifically Katrinka's Kitchen. And today I'm doing one of my slap it together recipes and just making it up as I go along. Now the first thing that I have is a bagel, and I'm going to make some croutons out of it. And I started on it and I wanted them in this particular shape. I just felt like doing it that way. So what I did was I cut the bagel into fours, and then it comes out like that. This is a fourth of a bagel, and then I just cut it like I'm slicing a loaf of bread, getting little tiny miniature slices of bread. So there we go. And I didn't want to bore you watching me do the entire bagel, so I did 3/4 of it ahead of time. Okay, and then we're going to put that into a bowl. And I have some melted butter, which I'm going to put on it. Okay, and then we're going to put some garlic powder. Pepper. A little bit of salt. And then my secret ingredient is the original French fry seasoning from the Spice&T Exchange. Needs to be, there we go. And this has a little bit of sweetness in it because it has light brown sugar. It does have sugar, and it also has sea salt and onion powder, garlic, and cayenne pepper, and smoked sweet paprika. So it has a little heat and also a little sweet. So here we go. I'm not putting a lot on, it's just difficult to get it out. All right, so then coat it really good. Get the all the good stuff all over it. So today we're having vegetable soup and salmon. All right, so it's pretty well coated. Just a couple more tosses, and then we'll put it onto a pan. And we'll spread it out evenly. And that should do it. And I'm going to put this into the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes, but I'm going to watch it to make sure it doesn't burn. And halfway through, I'm going to flip it over. Okay, so we're going to let that cook, and we'll be back in just a minute. And we're back. We have our croutons done. I had to shorten the time a little bit cooking them because some of them for some reason were just starting to get a little too well done. So I picked out the best of them. It came out like this. And let's give it a little taste and see how they came out. Very crunchy, but if you put them into a soup, that should help with that if it's too crunchy. Now I have another tip for you regarding opening jars. Now, one part of the dinner tonight, there's salmon and then there's vegetable soup. And I got vegetable soup, and it was from, if you want to go, I'll link it below, www.foodforthesouthernsoul.com. I'll link that below if you want to check it out. But this is their vegetable soup. And boy, did I have a hard time opening this jar. So I had my handy dandy jar opener. Okay. And then if you're having a hard time, use one of these. And you'll be able to get a good grip on the jar with that, and then you can open it easier. So that's another tip of the day. All right, and then what I did was I have the salmon here, and I scraped out the remainder of the leftover stuff that I used to coat the croutons, and I put it onto the salmon. And then I have a trick that I use to keep the salmon from sticking to the pan, and that is water. So I just put enough water so that it's just a little bit in the bottom of the pan. That helps a lot. And then I selected yet another French herb mixture, and this one's for fish. So that's appropriate. So we're going to use that, put some of that on to the salmon. Then we're going to put this in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes. Okay, so while that's cooking, I'll get the soup heat it up, and I'll be back. And we're back again. And the salmon looks beautiful, and we'll give it a taste test. And then the soup looks fantastic. And it has a lot of stuff in it that I really like. It has tomatoes, and very chunky tomatoes too. So that's my favorite thing about tomatoes. If I have tomato soup, I love to have big chunks of tomato in it too. So kind of like the stewed tomatoes, and you can put that into a smooth soup and then add that and heat it up. It's very good. And then it has lima beans and okra and corn, so looks wonderful. And I have my croutons, which I'm just going to put in there, just a couple of them. I'm going to kind of bury it underneath so it can soak up a little bit of the soup and maybe soften up the croutons a little bit. But let's try the soup. This is kind of like a review of this particular soup, which is a vegetable soup from the company that I'm going to link below. And it's delightful. It's really good. Now I can save the croutons. I'll put them in the fridge and save them so I can use them again. And then of course salmon. I did cook it with the skin on, and then I took the skin off when it was done. And I usually like my salmon to be medium well. Very tasty with that extra flavoring from the croutons and also from the special herbs for fish from France. So enjoy. Let me know if you do one of these slap it together dinners like I do. And thanks for watching to the end, and we'll see you next time.